Today we're going to go gliding. Hi, my name's Liz Sparrow and I'm a long-term member of the British gliding team. I'm a glider pilot and I'm an engineer. And I can't think of anything that's more fun than being an engineer and being a glider pilot. Today we're going to have a look at how gliders work. So what is gliding? Some of you may know, some may not. But gliding is using gliders which have no engines. And because they have no engine, it relies on pilot skill and rising air to keep them flying. They can go very high, they can go fast, and they can go a long way. The highest that a glider has gone is over 76,000 feet. Now most airliners fly at around 30 to 40,000 feet. And top speeds that you can fly up to perhaps 180 miles an hour. So faster than the landing speed of a jumbo jet. And the world record distance is more than 3,000 kilometres, which is further than flying from the UK to Greece. And they can do all of this on renewable energy coming from the sun and the wind. But we do need a bit of a hand to get airborne. And there are two ways normally we get airborne. One is a winch launch, where you hook the glider onto a cable that's stretched out the length of the gliding field and you wind it in, and that gives the glider enough speed that it can climb. And once it's up there, it needs to look for a source of this renewable energy, thermals, rising air, to stay up. Or we can go and tow behind a tow plane, take an aerotow, which, as you can see, you hook the glider onto the end of a cable behind a power plane, and that gets you into the air. And once you're up there, you're looking for these rising air currents to stay up there and do the amazing and awesome things we do in a glider. And the thing you really need to fly is wings. Anything with wings can fly. And anything that's got wings can glide as well. So things like big jet airliners, they would glide. When the engine stops, they would glide. As long as you've got wings, you can glide. What you need in your wings is for them to be strong. You obviously want them to be able to withstand all the air currents that are up there and be able to go quite fast. They need to be flexible so that they just give a little bit. And they need to be light compared to their size. And there are a number of ways you can look at designing wings, and we're just going to have a little look at one of them today. One way to build a strong, flexible, light wing is to build it with a beam down the middle to give you the strength. That's called a wing spar. And then what you need to do is put a nice smooth wing shape on the outside by building it with fiberglass or making a fabric former. So today we're going to see how to design a wing that's strong enough. Okay, now we can make a nice strong but light wing spar today, and we're going to examine how materials work using spaghetti. So here is a strand of spaghetti. I've also got another spar that's two strands, and they are held together. As you can see, I've put a rubber band on either end just to keep them together. I've done the same here with 5 strands of spaghetti with the rubber bands on the end. And what I've done here, I've actually got just some ordinary glue, just a glue stick, and glued the spaghetti together. And we'll see whether 5 strands glued together behaves differently to 5 strands. So we're going to take our single strand of spaghetti, we're going to put it in our test rig. Here's our variable load going on there. And we're going to pour some water in, or you could do it with sand, and see how much it takes before it breaks. Oh, there we go. And that broke, and it broke. Here are the scales. At 39 grams. I'm just going to write that down. 1 strand, 39 grams. Okay. So let's get our 2 strands, put them on the test rig, and let's load this up. Here's our 2 strands, and again I'm just going to slowly add more load. You can see it flexing. Oh, there it goes. A piece of spaghetti ended up in the water. Right, and so 2 strands, that's 76 grams. 76. Okay, here are our 5 strands. Let's hook that on, get the other bits out of the way. So we've got 5 strands here. You can see them flexing. Oh, and there you are. Now, did you see how those broke? Did you see that to start with, the ones at the bottom broke and the ones on the top were together, and then the rest all broke as well? Which suggests that spaghetti is stronger in compression, and the ones in tension broke first. And those 5 strands did 167 grams. And now let's try the 5 glued together. And so with our 5 glued together, that's 178 grams. So slightly stronger glued together than they were when, when they were just separate but held at the ends. So I've written the results of my experiment into a table here, and you can see we've got 1, 2, 5 strands and 5 strands glued together, and I've recorded what weight they broke at. And if I draw that onto a graph, it looks like this. And the reddy brown line there shows the 1 strand, the 2 strands and the 5 strand. But what we also discovered from gluing them together was that by gluing the strands together, it actually got stronger. Now it's your turn. Design me a spar that'll carry 95 grams. And how many strands would I need if I wanted a spar that would carry 110 grams? You might well want to make it as strong as possible without taking any more space or any more weight, and now gluing it together, which is called laminating, is a good way of doing it. Now, you're going to have a go at this yourselves. What you'll find is that not all spaghetti is the same, and so if you try it in groups, some of you will get slightly different results. So we'd like you to plot your own graph once you've done it. Write all your results into a table and then plot your own graph, and then take the average values from all of the class and see what you get there. So now we're going to have to look at somebody doing that for real with a glider, and they're testing the wing. So let's just have a look at this one. Here we go. And you can see the rig they've got here. And you can see that they've got the wing fixed in the rig. And they're pulling it up. In this case, they're pulling it up at one end rather than bowing it in the middle. Here it is, you can see it's flexing quite nicely. You can see that the wingtip is coming up. It's being held at the right-hand end of the screen the way it would be in the glider. And every new glider and every new aeroplane always has to go through some sort of test like this to see what happens. And it has to perform to a certain strength, otherwise they're not allowed to make the aeroplane because it wouldn't be safe for people to fly in. So here it is, gradually getting more and more, bending harder and harder, taking more and more stress, more and more strain. Nearly done. It's doing very well so far. This is much more than it would bend in normal use. And there's one of the things, 1.5 is one of the things that it has to achieve without breaking. So it's actually now stronger than it needs to be. Quite a bit stronger than it needs to be, and it hasn't broken yet. Here we go. They're going to keep on going till it breaks. Oh. And it's carrying on. Amazing. Oh, look, the rig broke and the wing is still okay. Now that shows you just how strong some of these designs are. So we've seen that you can make something stronger by laminating. And what else is laminated, I wonder? I bet you can list some things, but certainly anything made of fiberglass, that's laminated. So for a glider, it's not just the wings, but also the body of the glider. That's all laminated. And there are lots of other things, boats, for example, fiberglass boats, and a number of jet planes and so on. They're all laminated. Military helicopters, the rotors, they've got laminated parts on them because they want to be very tough and very light. Car windscreens, they're laminated, and that actually makes them tougher, but it also means that when they break, they break into small bits rather than nasty big shards that could cut you if you do have an accident in a car. But one of the original things that's laminated is trees and plant stems. They're made up, if you look at them, of lots and lots of little fibres all running the length of the stem and all joined together. And that's what makes a tree a very flexible, tough thing. And that's why we use wood in so many things, because it's light and it's very strong.
Hi, we hope you enjoyed the challenge and found it fun and interesting. We're from Junior Gliding. I'm Lucy and I'm 17 and I've been gliding for 3 years.
And I'm Em, I'm 16 and I've been gliding for 2.
Did you know that you can fly on your own in a glider before you can drive a car?
If you want to find out more about gliding, go to the British Gliding Association website, www.gliding.co.uk.
There are around 80 gliding clubs across the UK.
We hope to see you in the skies soon.